Straight ahead, a dangerous night on Texoma roads as cars gliding along slick pavement slip out of control. Sand trucks head out tonight to try and make the roadways safer. And snow wasn't the only thing coming from the sky. One South Texas town also got a tornado. Hello and Merry Christmas. I'm Alex Belser. Aaron is off tonight. A driver ran off Highway 75 tonight and the vehicle also flipped onto its side. It happened around 6:30. The van was heading south just past the Texoma Medical Center when it went off the side of the road past a bridge that was extra slick. The van went on its side and down the embankment.
I just lost control over the bridge. I didn't think it was really as icy as it really was, and I didn't slow down like I should have.
The man says his sister, wife, and 2 kids were also in the van. He says luckily they did not appear to be seriously injured. There are slick spots all along Highway 75 tonight. Trucks out to work on the worst spots. TxDOT workers say that their trucks are putting out a substance similar to sand called chat, along with magnesium chloride along bridges and steep hills on 75, 82, and 377. 10 workers were out today and a new shift came on tonight. TxDOT is warning drivers to stay off the roads if at all possible because the roads will freeze overnight. In Oklahoma, troopers in Ardmore say they've investigated 10 collisions, 4 of those with injuries, and assisted almost 100 motorists, and that's all just this afternoon. Firefighters shut down a Denison street after a report of a gas meter hit by a vehicle leaking gas. It happened around 5 o'clock near Parkside Baptist Church on Lillis Lane. That's where the meter at the edge of the snowy street was found, leaning to the side, leaking gas out of its base. Now, downwind of the meter, everybody could smell the gas.
We got a call that the car hit it, but the car wasn't here when we got here. We just found it like that when we got here.
Firefighters were waiting for Atmos Energy crews to arrive and shut off that meter. Well, it's certainly been an eventful day on Christmas with all the snow. Kathy is here now with an update on the weather. Kathy. All right, thank you, Kathy. Some kids are taking advantage of the winter weather to do some sledding. This is seen tonight at Waterloo Park in Denison. It's been a few years since these kids have had a good snow, especially on Christmas. They and their parents found it to be a great present.
Oh, they're kids. Yeah, I love it. They love it. And you don't get snow like this that often, so you got to take advantage of it.
And the parents say after a few last rides, these kids were all ready to pack up their sleds and head back home out of the cold. Earlier today, the winter storm created dangerous conditions as well. This was a scene in Sherman around 12:30 with rain and sleet coming down even before the snow. A car spun out on Highway 75 near Washington Street. The officer there says that the driver was headed down the highway. When the accident happened, the car smashed into a guardrail. Police cars helped slow traffic until the wrecker could come and remove the car from the highway. Nobody was hurt. And in Denison, the change was gradual as freezing precipitation turned to snow this afternoon. The slushy buildup suddenly made roads more tricky to navigate. Most businesses are closed for Christmas and there wasn't much traffic, but many of the people that were out were still going pretty fast on the roadways. Several spinouts were reported earlier this afternoon as well.
It just started snowing a few miles south of here. Other than that, and the temperature just hit freezing.
Several vehicles off the roadway, nothing, too serious.
As the snow continued to accumulate, driving conditions got a little bit tricky. And road crews in Bryan County were using a method known as street sanding earlier today. As Meredith Yeomans found out, it's a lot more complex than it sounds, especially during the weather like we're experiencing. And that was Meredith Yeomans reporting. At least 2 possible tornadoes touched down in Texas with strong straight-line winds. One person was killed in Tomball outside Houston, crushed by a falling tree. The fallen trees blocked the roadway. Both the eastern and southern part of the states remained under a tornado watch. A Sherman woman was killed in a Marshall County wreck on Christmas Eve. It happened around 4:30 Tuesday on a county road near the Willis Bridge. Troopers say 22-year-old Alicia Shahadi died after her SUV went off the road and flipped multiple times, ejecting her from the vehicle. According to OHP, Shahadi was not wearing a seatbelt. 2 others were treated and released. Troopers say the car appeared to be speeding. A pileup involving 21 vehicles, including 3 big rigs, shut down Interstate 40 outside Oklahoma City. State police say freezing rain was the likely cause of this morning's chain reaction crash. About 10 people have been taken to the hospital, but the injuries are not believed to be life-threatening. Police say they recovered a 3-page typewritten note from the man responsible for Monday's ambush in upstate New York that killed 2 firefighters and wounded 2 others. Police Chief Gerald Pickering said he could not release the full note, but he read a chilling passage. He said the shooter was armed with a revolver, shotgun, and a semi-automatic rifle. He said William Spangler set a clear ambush and that the victims were shot with the rifle because of the distance involved. Medical examiner's office will perform autopsies to determine the exact cause of death. He said the police officer who engaged the shooter most likely saved several lives.
But I will read to you one of the sentences out of the 2-page or 2 or 3-page typewritten note that really clearly goes to his intent, while the note does not go to motive. Quote, "I still have to get ready to see how much of the neighborhood I can burn down and do what I like doing best, killing people." End quote.
The town has been flooded with offers for help, and a website has now been set up for donations. And authorities also say they've recovered human remains from the house of the shooter. 67-year-old Cheryl Spangler, the shooter's sister, had been missing since the incident. Officials are assuming that the remains belong to her. Police say that William Spangler is responsible for setting those fires and ambushing the firefighters. Still ahead on ABC Texoma, there's still a little bit of time left for Christmas Day and time for one woman to enjoy her very many decorations. Plus, the rumors end as a popular singer makes a big announcement. We'll tell you what it is. And you won't believe the Santa collection that one woman assembled in New Mexico. We'll show you that. Plus, Kathy is back with a check of the forecast. That's when we come back. A Southern California home turns to a festive forest each Christmas as Rick Chambers reports it has more than 100 Christmas trees.
Tomorrow,
All right, thanks, Kathy. What a day. Christmas snow. Thanks for joining us. Good night.